What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Planet Zoo. Once again, if you guys are enjoying the Africa Pack mini-series, make sure you leave a like on the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. Today, we are finally going to be adding our African elephants into our beautiful exhibit over here. However, you may notice it's kind of bare. It's sort of boring. There's not really a lot happening here, so we're going to change that, of course. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I do have a couple of things that I did off camera that I want to make sure I go over with you guys. What is this? Another meerkat? Another freaking meerkat has just died of old age. Oh my god. 14 and a half years old. Didn't even quite make it to the 15 and a half, dude. What a shame. What a shame. Big RIP to the homie right there on that one. Bitten. I had to come back real quick just to make sure that that was his name and not his cause of death. I was like, wait, did it just say he was bitten to death? Anyways, big RIP to the homie. Something that I did off camera that I feel like I should have done a long time ago is I added an additional bathroom out here, since the only bathrooms we currently have are up here at the front entrance of the zoo. And then we have two more restrooms sort of inside the aquarium over here. Dude, the aquarium is just freaking popping too, isn't it? Look at that. This is so weird. Okay, first of all, look at the penguins off in the distance. That's incredible. But the lower deck here, super packed. Upstairs, there's hardly anyone up there. I don't know why this happens. Everybody's loving the penguins. That's always good to see. So as I was saying, we only had the two restroom locations. You could argue that maybe the bathroom block in the aquarium is close enough, and this one probably isn't going to make that much difference, but I just thought that maybe adding, something a little extra to this building might do it some good. So that's what we ended up doing. And then inside our little elephant house here, I say little, but it's actually pretty big. You can even see we have some guests walking over the observation deck. This is, again, supposed to be a smaller observation deck. The main idea here is that you can pass through their house, not necessarily spend a whole lot of time in here. So in this area, I don't think we're going to be adding like habitat education boards or habitat education speakers, stuff like that. We may do a donation bin, but I feel like that's going to make guests stop dead in their tracks and then in turn clog up this whole tiny little pathway. But I mean, look at this thing, dude. I spent, I don't know, maybe a good hour and a half off camera just sort of messing around. You guys may remember this whole scenery object here. It's actually just a blueprint. I think it was actually part of the aquatic pack, but it's the same exact thing we have over here. The only difference with the one inside the dome is I did have to move a couple of rocks and plants and things to make sure it all fits in this space. And then on the outside, we moved a solar panel and then added a weeping willow to sort of hide this solar panel as best we could. But you'll notice on the outside of the building, not a single rock other than like the roots of a tree, I guess. I'm not really sure what that's all about, but nothing is clipping through apart from that root, the outside of the building. Everything is looking tip-top. We also have some lights now too. I guess we could probably show off the lighting system that we have. It's sort of an ambient light in here. I didn't want anything too bright. And then on the top of the ceiling, we have a huge, I think that's actually called a stadium light up there, sort of illuminating, casting down and illuminating the floor of the dome in here. Another animal alert. Animal is stressed. I am so sorry. The fennec fox, they're kind of a problematic species, aren't they? Or I guess maybe the habitat is just problematic. We're going to set our time back to noon, and we are going to get busy, dudes and dudettes. We got a lot to tackle. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else that I did off camera that maybe I'm just forgetting to mention. I don't think there is. I guess with the penguins over here, this is something kind of new. We didn't have any sort of habitat education boards or anything, donation bins out here on the external viewing area for the penguins. So I went ahead and churched it up a little bit, made it look kind of nice. To start things off, let's head to animal trading, and we're going to see if we can't find ourselves some African elephants. We're looking at this elephant here, Hassani, with the bronze medal. He's got a appeal of about 7,000, and they want 14 grand for him. Fertility's about 50%, immunity 33. What about his friend down here? Okay, his friend's stats are even worse. And between these two females, I'd say probably the top one. So we're going to go with Hassani and Nima. They're going to be our first African elephants in the exhibit. Wait. Oh, we don't have a habitat gate here. Yeah, we can't do that. Okay, let's send them temporarily to the trade center, I guess. Yeah, I would say this is definitely something that I overlooked. Kind of forgot all about a keeper hut, amongst other things. Now that we've deleted the little corner of this habitat barrier right here, I think what I'm gonna do is actually try to configure a keeper hut as well as a entrance into this habitat somewhere in this area. I don't quite know how I'm gonna go about doing it yet. Let's come out here to the micro exhibit area, and I'm just gonna quickly duplicate the existing keeper hut that we have just to try to keep things simple. We'll plop that down right there. Onto barriers, I think we're gonna go with the glass habitat gate. I'm gonna drop that down right about there, and then we're gonna snake this path from here up around to the keeper hut, and then we'll try to connect it to the existing path here. Again, I'm just not really sure how this is gonna look yet. Okay, there we go. I think this is gonna work for now. I would have really liked to keep this path here for, you know, future expansions and stuff, because we would maybe continue going to the right a little bit. I don't know. We have a lot of stuff on the left side of the zoo, or I guess that's technically the right side of the zoo from the entrance, but we have a lot of stuff going on out here and then not that much stuff going on out here. So we will likely be changing this, but for the time being, I think it's going to be exactly what we're looking for. Now that we have a new building out here, it looks like we don't actually have the right power requirements in order to supply this building with electricity, so I'm gonna try to drop down a solar panel somewhere over here. We'll put one down right there and then just connect a simple little staff path to it, something like that. That'll get the job done. Now back into animal trading. Dude, how long do these actually live for? Because I feel like 35.5 years old is pretty old for an elephant, but I think elephants actually live for quite a while. Hang on, right here, African elephant. Let's see, they're endangered. Population in wild is 415,000. That seems like a lot, honestly. Good God, do they need a lot of space? Okay, it's a good thing we made this thing so massive, dude. Jesus. And then they do need some water too. Grade 4 fence. I think we're good on that. And they live for how long? 65 years. All right. So that 30-year-old has lived through roughly half of their life now, which is pretty good, all things considered. They can't have bebe until they're at least 15 years old, but they are fertile until death. Well, sweet. I think we got all the info that we need. Oh, up to 1 male and up to 14 females. So we have our 1 male. We'll just keep getting new females then in that case. But all right, if we go back into animal storage, we're gonna move Hassani to this habitat 10, and then Nima as well. She's gonna get placed in this habitat also. Sweet. I also love when these larger exhibit animals get brought in to their habitats, because the crate or the box, I guess, that they're carried around in is so small. There's absolutely no way that an animal that size would fit in it. But it is only game, so why you have to be mad, you know what I mean? But it looks like we got the first one coming out right now. Okay, she's like fast walking and then slow walking, and then here we go. Here we go. They really know how to keep us waiting, don't they? Let's see it, dude. Holy crap. See, look at the... I'm gonna pause things for a second. Look at this crate, okay? There is no way an elephant will fit in that crate. Dude, the elephant's the size of the building. I don't even think they're gonna fit through this archway. We might have to change a lot of our design decisions here, but that's cool. I think that's the male, so I believe he's the biggest, and then the females are actually smaller, slightly, than the males, right? Yes. Okay, that does appear to be the case. What is going on here? Keeper cannot reach habitat, possibly due to your work zone setup. Hey, right. Yeah, we don't have a keeper for this area, mate. So, we're gonna head into staff. We're gonna grab ourselves a keeper, plop him down right over here. What is your name, good sir? We got Denny Dowd out here. Denny Dowd is gonna be our African elephant keeper. I think he'll do nicely. Work zone manager. We gotta create a new work zone, so we're gonna select the keeper hut, the habitat, and then he doesn't exactly have a close staff resting facility. I guess this one's not that far away. We can have him use this facility for the time being. Should be all right. And then as we sort of expand out on the right side of the zoo out here, we'll of course add larger and more staff resting facilities, so our staff members have more options on where they can go rest. And actually, this is a good showing of how I had to go about doing the interior habitat for this dome over here. So you guys can see this glass wall is actually just separating sort of the path and the kind of rock waterfall feature we have in here from the rest of the dome. Hopefully this keeps the elephants out. I'm not 100% sure that it will, but we're gonna try. And with that done, let's come up here and name this sucker Elephant Keeper Zone. That should work. Now we just have to come back down here to Denny, good old Denny, and we're gonna change his work zone from nothing to something. That something being the Elephant Keeper work roster. We're ready to rock here, except for the fact that I don't think these elephants are gonna be too happy being in this habitat right now. Oh, it's actually not as bad as I was expecting. Hard shelter, 0%. This is hard shelter. This whole thing is hard shelter. What are you on about? Dude, okay. I 100% should have tested this. I should have known. Can they even go in that area? Surely they've got to be able to enter the habitat there. Dude, I spent like an entire episode working on this stupid dome, and it doesn't even pass for hard shelter. Shelter is critically insufficient to cover all animals. Maybe we just need some bedding. Maybe we just have to add some bedding in here. Let's do that first before we rule it out completely. Okay, I know it's kind of hard to see in here because of the shadow, but we do have about 4 large patches of bedding now in here, and it still shows 0%, which is just a real bummer. It really is. At least they have plenty of space. That's nice. Oh, and we have a diseased animal. Which one of you is already diseased? Nima! Oh man. All right, Nima's gonna go get handled by our vet over here. What a stand-up guy. All right, appreciate you. Oh, wait. Okay, it is a guy. I was about to tip my fedora and say ma'am, but we're good. Looks like a couple of guests have started to take notice of our African elephant dude. I'm just so sad about this whole African elephant house. We really spent a long time working on this thing. I'm just so sad, dude, that they're not even gonna use this place. Maybe it's because of this wall. If that is the case, we're just gonna simply delete that and delete that one. Maybe they weren't able to enter the hard shelter area. Maybe. It's a possibility. Well, while I wipe away my tears, now that we know our hard shelter is insufficient, I think we're going to turn our attention to this path system over here. So I mentioned this in the previous video, but I was almost 100% certain we would have to sort of break up this path and replace it down so we could sort of get a similar thing to what we have over here in mini Africa, where we have this nice big observation deck that guests can walk around on and look at the animals. But over here, it's going to be a little bit different because I'm not going to raise the path. I'm going to lower the terrain, which is why I said that I might have to delete a couple of paths. So I'm going to try to handle this real quick. I will see you guys in a sec. Okay, this is what I have so far. I'm not insanely proud of it per se, but I did manage to figure out how to go about doing the whole observation deck thing over here with the slightly elevated path and the lowered terrain on the opposite side. It actually worked really well to just use the terrain stamp tool with the square and just leave the slightest bit of overhang right next to where the path was going to go. So now on this side, you can't even tell that there's no terrain under it. But then if you just pop below here, you can see that it's just kind of a sheer cliff that sort of drops off. And it's a little rough. You guys might be thinking it's looking a little rough out here. So what I'm gonna do now is go through, try to smooth everything out, and then we're gonna try to figure out how we can reconfigure this barrier once again. It kind of got all, well, deleted. It kind of got deleted. I think for the barrier, rather than bringing this thick glass all the way in front of this thing, because it would kind of follow the curvature of the terrain. Of course, there's other things we could do to sort of counteract that, but for the most part, it would try to sort of bring down a massive sheet of glass here, which is absolutely not what I'm after. So instead, I replaced this whole portion with a null fence because, to be honest, I don't foresee an elephant being able to climb up onto the guest path in the first place, so I don't think we'll have any real issues there. So we know the elephants want water, and we know how much water. I don't know how much water this area in particular is, but I think it would be kind of cool to try to put basically a big pool in front of the observation deck, whereas like over in mini Africa, it's kind of further out, further away from the observation deck. I think it'd be cool to be able to see these animals swimming up close and personal. So I'm gonna try the lowest possible depth here and filling that with water just to see how that looks. Not terrible. definitely not terrible. All the way up to the top is 100% not happening. But what about up just a little bit more, maybe to like right there? That also looks pretty good. Actually, I kind of like that a little bit more. All right, we'll see. Oh, wow, elephant is going off, dude. Is this enough water for you, sir? Are you going to be satisfied with that amount of water? You sure are. Okay, that's actually a little bit overkill, to be honest, but still got 0% hard shelter, I see. Oh, gotta love that, guys. Gotta love that. So what are we gonna have to do then in that case to make a hard shelter? Are we just gonna use like something like one of these, the sort of pre-built things, or I don't know. We're gonna have to figure it out. I suppose that's something we'll do likely in the next episode, but what an absolute bummer. This thing was gonna be so sick too. Maybe we can save it. Maybe we can find a way to save it. I don't know. But now that we have the water placed in the habitat, let's go back to terrain and we'll see what else they need. So they actually need less long grass. A lot of this is currently long grass, and they need more soil and more short grass as well. Okay, so we're gonna bring some soil out just around their little pond here, and then we're gonna switch it to short grass and just try to get rid of all that long grass stuff that they don't really care for as much. And now we're gonna take some more soil just at 50% and sort of sprinkle it around. And while we were doing that, looks like Nima got dropped back off, so she is ready to rock again. See, Nima could 100% fit in this thing, like without a doubt, but Big Brutus over there, I don't know. I really don't know. Many guests think tickets are underpriced. Dude, we're at $27. Let's bump it up to $30 and $25 for kids. This is a really expensive zoo. I think when we go to the local zoo, it's maybe $10 for admission. Oh, another meerkat. R.I.P. to the homie. R.I.P. Well, I'm glad we got our elephants, but I think they need a little bit more. They need a little bit more from us. They need some enrichment things. So we're gonna go down to habitats, and under filters, we're gonna change the species filter to African elephant. Very convenient. It's sort of at the top of the list here. And now for their food and water, we get to pick what they're going to eat out of and what they're going to drink out of. We do have the lake or the pond over here that they could probably drink out of. Let's check the heat map on that quick. Just make sure that that water's being treated. It is. Okay, the same water treatment plant that runs the aquarium is also going to handle the elephants, so that's good. Let's go ahead and grab a large food trough, because part of me thinks that maybe we can lead the elephants into the space at the very least. They might not like it for shelter, but we might be able to get them to at least come and hang out in here. I also just completely ruined the terrain over here, so I gotta smooth this out really quick. Don't mind me, nothing to see here. We have our keeper in here. Oh my god, is they taking a dump? Why did I say that so stupid? Are they taking a dump out here, dude? Look at those things. They're dropping rocks off behind them. I just can't get over how massive Dude Bro here is. Like, he's just Big Brutus. Can we rename him Brutus? Brutus. There we go. We haven't actually named very many of our animals, but I think he's actually the first one. Yeah, he's pretty happy about it too. He's pretty pumped. Actually, that reminds me of something. One of you, I apologize, I don't remember who specifically, but one of you had asked, what year is it in the zoo? I think you had a guess. It was like maybe year 2 or something. It is actually year 18, and I will move out of the way so you guys can actually see that. There you go. The 15th of November, year 18. We've had this zoo open for 18 whole years now, and we're just now getting around to adding our elephants. This place is popping too, dude, already. Look at the amount of people out here. We got just a lone wolf right there. Sorry, guy. Sorry you gotta be out here alone. That's no way to spend your weekend. He's putting on a show for him. He is putting on a show. All right, let's continue with all their habitat-related things so we don't aggravate these elephants. After the food tray, since we do have that water source over there that is being treated, I don't think it's very important we add a water pipe, but we're gonna move on to beds and shelters just to make sure that we're not missing anything. Oh, dude, they have some huge elephant-sized shelters here. My God, those don't fit the aesthetic of the zoo really at all, but it's a solid option for a possible replacement if we can't get the dome hard shelter to work. And now we have enrichment. We got a huge gyro. We're going to put that over here. We kind of learned our lesson with the gyro over in mini Africa, and that the animals love to push it in the water. So we're going to try to keep it a little bit further away. And we got some barrel feeders. I'm going to try to put these maybe at the front entrance. We'll do a large soccer ball just out in the middle of nowhere. Another large barrel feeder. We'll put that over here. Oh, the large fixed roller feeder. This thing's pretty neat. I'm going to put this right up against the glass coming out of the bathrooms. I think that's going to be a cool spot to have one of those. A large snowball. Put that out in the middle with the other balls. Large tire, same thing, just out in no man's land. A mud bath. Absolutely, that's going to go right there. Rubbing pillar, I'm going to put that back in this corner somewhere. We have a Skittle. I still don't understand what a Skittle really is. I mean, I know what a Skittle is, like the food, but I don't know what this Skittle is. And last but not least, the waterfall and metal frame enrichment. This thing's actually pretty sweet, so I think I'm going to do that right over here. It's a little funky. It's a little funky on that backside. It's got this weird like lip to it now, but we're not gonna pay any attention to that. We're gonna pretend like it looks great. Okay, now with all of that done, let's check back in on our beloved elephants. Oh, a meerkat's about to have offspring. Good timing too, because we just lost another one not too long ago. Hard shelter is still at 0%. Dude, he kind of likes the Skittle though, huh? Okay, species food enrichment, 140 out of 40. Look at him toss that thing around. Species toy enrichment, 1,000 out of 252. Yep, he's happy. Oh my Jesus Christ! Where did that even go? Oh yeah, it even reset. So he just flung that off into oblivion. What a guy. What a guy. All right, so there you guys have it. I know this is a shorter episode than most. I'm trying to squeeze out maybe 2 episodes today, hopefully. We're having a bachelor party, bachelorette combined party this weekend at the lake. So my mind's kind of elsewhere right now, you could say. I'm looking forward to the weekend. Hopefully you guys are as well. But nonetheless, I will see you guys back in Planet Zoo on Thursday. So if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, leave a comment, help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.